everyone, welcome back to my channel. I really apologize if you can hear my fridge humming. I've tried everything to try to get it to stop, but I'm hoping you can't hear it and you can just hear me talking. So anyway, let's get down to business. So guys, today we're doing something very, very exciting. We're doing some arts and crafts, and we are gonna be making these super cool football bath bombs. I just love them. They are so flippin' cute. I don't even know if it's focusing on that, but it's the Eagles logo. And I just love these because it's really awesome for football season. If you love football, I know some guys even love bath bombs. I think they're really fun for kids. And I also think this is a super cool idea for like, if you're having a Super Bowl party or a kickoff party. This is just a really cool craft that you can do, and it's super easy. So, I used to own an Etsy shop for bath bombs and candles. I actually decided not to do it anymore because I was nervous about the FDA regulations and things like that. So now I'm just gonna share with you guys my favorite bath bomb recipe and how I make them. And I just realized the fan looks like a hat. So I apologize if that's distracting. But guys, this is my favorite bath bomb recipe. I tried many and many of them failed. So I hope that you enjoy it. I love making bath bombs because they're really easy and they're really cheap to make them yourself rather than buying a bunch of them. And also, Nala's growling in the background. What was I gonna say? And also you can be as creative as you want with them if you have allergies and things like that. Chill! If you have allergies and things like that, it's a really good way to keep out all of those allergens and things like that. I have really sensitive skin, so these are really great for me. And anyway, without further ado, let's do this recipe. And this is my recipe for all my bath bombs, so if you want to make another kind of bath bomb, feel free. I just thought the football ones are really fun, and I plan on doing some more really cool and different bath bombs in the future on this channel. But here's what you're gonna need for this recipe. So the most important ingredient is gonna be baking soda. You're gonna need quite a bit, well, not quite a bit, it's a half a cup per batch. You don't have to have a ton, but I'm gonna make quite a few batches, so that's why I have a big box. You're also gonna need some, oh my gosh. You're also gonna need some Epsom salt, so you can pick whichever scent you like. This one is called Deep Marine Sea Kelp Mineral Soak, and it says purify and hydrate. So I got this one just because I am trying to help my muscle. My dog is freaking crazy right now. I got this one because I'm trying to help my muscles, so I like this one. The pink sea salt is also another really good one because it's really good for your muscles, but it also doesn't have a really strong scent. So I like that. And I'm also obsessed with the eucalyptus and spearmint, but you just have to pair it really well with the whatever scent you're using in your bath bomb. So just pick whichever ones you like. You're gonna need some citric acid. This stuff is kind of hard to find. I buy mine off of Amazon. I haven't found it in a store yet, so if you find some in store, let me know so I don't have to keep making Amazon orders. And then you're gonna need some cornstarch. This is your last of your dry ingredients. And then for wet ingredients, you're gonna need some food coloring. You can really use any kind of food coloring you like. These are specific for bath bombs. My sister-in-law gave them to me, so I don't know where they're from. They say Soap Beautiful on them, so I guess that's the brand. And then these are some powdered colors that my sister-in-law gave to me as well. I don't know how to use these, to be honest with you, because it, like the wet to dry, I don't really want to throw off that balance, but maybe we'll try them today and see how it goes. You're also going to need some fragrance oil. So these are from a company called P&J Trading, and I get these off of Amazon. I have a huge stack back here. You can't see, but I have so many. And you can pick whichever scent you like. I think that it's really fun, like if you're making these for your friends and people who have a team that they love to do scents that are like inspired by that city. So like for example with Miami, I did like coconut or mango, like fun tropical scents. For like Philadelphia Eagles, you could do like chocolate for like Hershey's, you know, get creative, or you could just do your favorite scent. It really doesn't matter. But one of my favorite scents to use is this one called Fresh Cut Grass. I know you can't see the words, but I like this one a lot because it smells like football turf. I'm gonna smell it. It's really good, guys. It smells so nice, but it's also really, really fresh, so I feel like it's a good one for the bath. And I think this one's from like the springtime collection or something like that. So if you check, this is one of my favorites to use for these football scents. And I also think it's kind of manly too, because it's fresh, but it's also like clean, if that's the right word. So anyway, that is what I'm planning to use today. And then you're also gonna need some coconut oil. So I just buy the big containers because I use a lot, but you really don't need that much. We're just using like a teaspoon. And then you're gonna need some molds. So for this one specifically, we're gonna be using the circular molds. I also got like some fun molds like Starfish for the Miami Dolphins. And then I just have some Halloween molds to use for my extra batter that I make. And then last but not least for this recipe, you're gonna need some logos and some scissors to cut them out. You can pick whichever teams you like. I just picked some random ones. The Dolphins are on my team obviously, but I live in Atlanta now. And then I also got our colleges. So mine are the Knights and Blake is the Hurricanes. So now's the fun part. We get to actually make these bath bombs. Oh, I also forgot you might want some measuring cups. We're gonna be using increments of like half a cup and fourth of a cup. So I just use a fourth of a cup and then I just do 2 for the half, but you can use whichever you prefer. All right, guys. So the first step, in a large mixing bowl, we are going to put a half of a cup of baking soda. Baking soda and citric acid are the fun parts because those are the ones that go crazy in the water. When I first made bath bombs, they were so hard to make because bath bombs have like a specific chemistry to them because they have to be, they're like baking. There's like a, I'm sorry about my dogs, clippity cloppities. They have to have like a certain amount of dry compared to wet. So this recipe seems to work the best. I just choked on baking soda. This recipe seems to work the best for me. Okay, and then it's gonna be a fourth of all the rest of your, fourth of a cup of the rest of your dry ingredients. So I'm doing a fourth of a cup of Epsom salt. Whoop. And then I'm doing a fourth of a cup of citric acid. And then lastly, a fourth of a cup of cornstarch. As easy as bath bombs are to make, it does get pretty messy. So just be prepared when you're making these. So that is it for your dry ingredients. You can go ahead and mix those all up if you would like. Probably can see, I don't know if you can see on the camera all the powder flying around. Okay, and then we're gonna set that to the side. Next, in a small little tub, we are going to combine our wet ingredients. So the biggest one is gonna be 1.5 teaspoons of water. Just gonna get it from a faucet here. So 1.5 teaspoons of water. Then next we are going to do 1 teaspoon of your fragrance. Again, you can use whichever fragrance oil you like. You can even use essential oils if you like. You don't have to use any fragrance if you don't like. If you're not using fragrance, I would just suggest doing an extra teaspoon of water. I love this scent, guys. It literally smells so good. I don't know why every time I film a video, my dog gets crazy. She's literally so calm until I pull out the camera. It's like she wants to be a star. And then lastly, we are going to get our coconut oil. So the coconut oil is like 1 teaspoon, or yeah, 1.25 teaspoons. So pop that in there. A lot of bath bomb recipes call for melting the coconut oil. I find that that is a horrible piece of advice because when you melt it, it gets really, really liquidy and it's gonna stick to the bath bomb mold. So I do not personally melt my coconut oil. And in your little bowl, we're gonna mix all of those wet ingredients. I always get worried that I'm forgetting something when I'm making these bath bombs. More specifically with the dry ingredients, I always seem to forget the cornstarch. Alright, so now we are going to take our big bowl with all of our dry ingredients and our small bowl with our wet, and we're going to mix it in very slowly. When you start pouring in the water, it's going to react with the baking soda and the citric acid, so you don't want to pour it in all at once or else it's going to get really, really big. It's going to have a huge a huge chemical reaction. And then you want to stir it up as quickly as you can as well, so you're not letting it sit for too long and mix up. If you were doing just one color for your, she laid down finally. If you were just doing one color for your bath bombs, I suggest putting the food coloring in with your liquid ingredients, but because we're doing two separate colors, that's why I just poured all the liquid in first. But that'll be easier for you if you do the food coloring together, if you're just doing one color, because it's easier to mix up. Okay, so now that I've got this all mixed up, I'm gonna go ahead and separate it into two medium-sized bowls. You could do this with a spoon or with your hands. I don't really care about getting messy, so I'm just gonna go ahead, pour it in. I'm not sure which team I wanna do. I think I'm gonna do the dolphins. So in my two separate bowls, should be as evenly as possible. I'm going to get my colors. So I'm gonna use blue, green, and there's no orange, so I'm gonna use saffron for the dolphins. Close enough, right? And you wanna be really careful with your mixture. Make sure it's not too dry and not too wet. So I usually do about 4 or 5 drops. And I'm gonna mix that all together. If you mix it up as quickly as possible, it's gonna be the best option, so that way the beads don't get stuck together and they kind of get evenly dispersed. And now in my other bowl, I'm gonna take my saffron scent and same thing, about 4 or 5 drops. Mix that little sucker up. They're so pretty, the colors. So here's my orange and my teal. And now I'm gonna cut out my logo as close to the logo as possible. But if it's extra, it's totally fine because it's gonna be covered up. So now when packing it in, the trick is to put a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of the powder in before you put the logo, because then you can just wipe it off afterwards after it sticks. I'm putting my logo facing down in the bath bomb mold. And then I'm gonna take my first color, whichever color you choose, and I'm gonna pack it in there as tight as I possibly can. And then for the other side, I'm just gonna take the other color and pack it in. You can also swirl it if you wanna be super cool and do like a little bit of blue and a little bit of orange or whichever colors you're doing. That would look super awesome as well. I might do that with what's left of this batter. And then I'm gonna take any color, it doesn't matter, and I'm gonna stack it on top. And I'm gonna use that to glue my two pieces together. So I'm just gonna push and do like a circular motion. And then you can get a little preview of what it's gonna look like. The paper came out because it's not stuck together yet, but let me come a little closer. So you can see I just slid the top off and that paper will be stuck. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to let this one dry, and I'm gonna use the rest of the batter in some more molds. So I think I'm gonna try that swirl design. Let's see how it goes. Just kind of rotating my colors, try to get that swirl to come through. Let's see if we can get a little preview. Oh my gosh, guys. Look how cool that looks. It's kind of dented because my molds are so dented because I've made so many bath bombs before. Let's see the other side. It's gonna come out so cool. All right, so now I'm just gonna leave all the ones that I've made to the side to let them dry, and then I will come back in a couple hours and show you guys how to take them out. You can repeat this process as many times as you want with as many colors as you want. I think I'm done because I already made some last night as well. Let me show you this one closer. Finished product is this is what it's gonna look like. Guys, they're so cool. So anyway, I will come back in a couple hours and we will see how they turned out. What's up, guys? It is a lot later, which is why it's a lot darker. And sorry if the camera angle is a little bit different, but I just wanted to show you guys how I take my bath bombs apart. So I've got them all right here. I don't know if the UCF one came out. I think it expanded too much because I put too much food coloring, but I'll show you guys the rest. So it's really, really easy. What I do is I take a spoon and I'm just gonna hit like the top and then hit all around on the sides and on the other side as well. So I'm just gonna do that. Okay, let's see. So one side came out. Oh, the other side came out too. Guys, it looks so good. Let me show you. Oh my gosh. This ring light is really bright. Hold on, let me turn it down so you can see it. How cute, guys. And then obviously this paper will just dissolve in the bath, but it's so cute. Okay, let's open the other ones. I do think like the Eagles one and like other ones that are gonna be white are like definitely better because you can't see the paper as much, but I still think they are adorable. The swirly one, let me show you. How cool is that? And it's such a good way to use your extra colors that you have from the bath bombs. Love it. So if you have any like this that are like one-sided, I just put it in my hand and give it a little bit of space and then tap down and then it should fall into your hand. Power of gravity, guys. Ah, at least I have a little UCF star, so cute. And then the last thing I made was a little UCF bat. Let's see how he came out. He came out super cute as well. Little bat. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed learning how to make these football bath bombs. I think they're so great for this football season that is just starting. And also for any parties you may have, Super Bowl parties, I think they're so adorable. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed them. If you make these on social media, please be sure to tag me at Little Miss MRS Marissa. And I will see you guys on Thursday with a vlog. Bye!